Hello, and today I'm going to be showing you a video analysing lots of footage which has been included at the Switch reveal, new footage of Breath of the Wild, okay? Now, first, there's some of it in my Nintendo Treehouse and some of it which can be found on YouTube by Polygon. I'll include a link to both in the description. So I'm going to go over the footage for the Switch first, okay? At the start you see the title screen, it's got some artwork on the left, it's fading into different artwork. And then on the right there's continue, new game, options and amiibo. Continue will obviously let you continue the game you're playing. New game will obviously let you create a new game file. Options will just be stuff like controls, sound, that sort of stuff. And then amiibo will probably tell you a compatible amiibo with the game and maybe what they do if you're lucky. And then, after that, when they click on continue, it goes to show a data loading thing, so some of them say autosave, so it's good to know that it autosaves, and when it autosaves you can go back to the autosave. You don't have to manually save to be able to go somewhere. There was also one at the bottom, Great Plateau Tower, that's not an autosave, they obviously chose to save then. So, but autosaves, that's what they're going to do, because they've obviously done it before, and you just get to pick where you want to start off from, but they start off at the Great Plateau Tower. So if we head to the next bit then, well, it shows the loading screen, aim controls, some items like those allow you to target things by tilting them out, be aware of your surroundings when doing this, blah 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 blah. You see the logo in the bottom right, that is the loading thing, as well as the little loading thing in the bottom left, but the logo in the bottom right, the logo slowly turns from a faded version to a fully coloured version, left to right, and that's it loading. You're also able to swap to another tip if you want, but the important thing is in the top right, it shows you all the stuff that you've got in the game so far. It shows your lives, this person has 4, and it shows a little dot inside a circle. I'm not that sure what this could be right now. Then it shows you a hylian crest inside a big circle, that's probably a spirit orb because that's what they look like. And then there is this other thing of diamond shape with this weird symbol inside it. It looks like some kind of bell, but I'm not that sure what it is. But they seem to have 4 of them, but don't really know what it is, to be honest. Maybe it's horses. Maybe they've got the 4 out of the maximum 5 of horses, which we find out to be a maximum later on in their footage. Not that sure what that is, but yeah. And then you see 1 in a symbol of some weird shape. That, in fact, is Korok seeds. I know because it's the same shape as a Korok seed. Just look there, see? And then, going back, the one underneath that, it's obviously rupees because it's got the symbol and it says 72 next to it, so they have 72 rupees. Anyway, past the loading screen, goes on to show them gliding off of the Great Plateau. Now, it's just nice to see the view from here, but there's one thing which I've seen and now it just makes me want to have the game even more, because I really want to know what it is. Well, you can see near the top left was this big, what looks like ruined tower, like cylindrical building, with a bridge leading up to it, and I just really want to know what it is, ever since I've seen it in the footage. I've just been wanting to know what it is. Also in the bottom right, near the minimap, you can see they've added something new. It is this thing showing you like what type of weather it is and what time it is. So obviously you can see upcoming weather. Probably randomised the weather, but the time, well, that's obviously not randomised because it's time, isn't it? Then next screenshot which I've taken of the footage shows Link on the wall of the Great Plateau. You can see that a lake with ruins on on like a peninsula of sorts coming out into the middle. Now this building here could be a throwback to the original NES game, because the first dungeon is on a small little island of sorts with a little tiny bit coming out to it in the middle of a lake, but could not be. But either way, this is the ruins which you see in the E3 trailer with some ducks in the lake next to it. Then next from that we see Link gliding down towards some horses. However, if you look towards the right you can see a moblin roaming through the woods, obviously quite common outside the Great Plateau to just find them wandering about. Well, in certain areas anyway, presumably this area. And then as Link glides towards the horse, it kicks him when he tries to land on it and they all run away. and he lost a bit of life from that, as well. Obviously shows that that's quite a feisty horse, and you might not want to try going for that one if you want to stay safe. But maybe they're okay to go for with a more stealthy approach and just trying to land on it. Then next, Link managed to ride on one of the horses, and we see the controls for it. There's a reset camera control, obviously to reset the camera into a position where you can see directly ahead of you. So like if you're just looking around, but when you notice you hear the sound effect for an enemy or like an arrow comes at you, you quickly want to reset the camera to see where they are, well, if they're in front of you anyway. Then there's a soothe button, which allows you to, like, if the horse is upset or anything, you can soothe it, and then, because when they're upset, they tend to be less responsive to you and not do what you want, so you need to soothe them to make them happy. Then there's a yaw button, which is obviously like in Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time, where it makes the horse speed up for a small amount of time. And then the woe button probably makes them slow down whilst you're speeding up, or like turn around or something. And you can see two little like whip symbols on it, and that's obviously similar to Twilight Princess, a speed up. In Ocarina of Time it is a carrot symbol, but here it's a whip symbol. And then in the next bit, if we go further on, it shows Link patting the horse, and pink sparkles come out of its head. This is Link soothing it, and it is therefore happy. And then again, you can see that big tower in the distance here more clearly. I still want to know what it is, and this just makes me even more impatient for the game. In fact, as a matter of fact, right now there is 988 hours till 6 o'clock on the 3rd of March, which is presumably the maximum time I'll get it by. I'm in the UK though, so it'll be slightly different to you. And this is the time I'm recording my video, not the time of uploading, but just thought I'd say that because I'm too excited. Anyway, next bit. It shows Link riding further along, and if you look on the right, you can see what I think to be a cave. Now, you only get to see this for a really brief moment, and before that it's covered up by the little box with all the people chatting in. So, maybe they're trying to hide it, maybe it's just coincidence, I don't know, but I want to go there as well. I want to go anywhere that I've seen that. It's suspicious, really. But I just thought I'd point that out for anyone who's interested. Suspicious looking cave there, pretty close to a great plateau. You might want to go and inspect it when you get the game. Next bit, it shows Link crashing into the side of a track, and the horse doesn't like it. So obviously the horse can crash into stuff, despite what they said quite a long time ago when in the really old version of the game when they're riding through some trees, but it dodges stuff. But it will dodge like trees and stuff, I presume. It's just big obstacles like that where Link directly steers it into it, but it might not dodge. Either way, it kicked its legs up and it didn't like it, so Link probably had to soothe it then. Next bit, Link's heading towards these stables, and you see a figure in front of him, someone that many people have predicted to be Beedle, and in fact the pack on his back looks like a horned Colossus Beetle from Skyward Sword, and he's got lots of stuff dangling off of it, and he says, "The pack on my back." I don't know whether music notes are a reference to him being musical or just him saying random stuff and it being a noise, therefore a note. Not sure. Then next after that, you can see the front of him, and he's got like a little chest over the top of his head, so he's obviously carrying tons of stuff for when he sets up shop at one of the stables. Then next bit, Link heads into a stable, and it says it's called OUTSKIRT Stable. The text goes across the top of the screen. You want to note this, because when he goes into minor places, like somewhere we'll go to later, it says the name in the bottom left, similar to like when he went into Zonai Ruins in the Let's Play video from the Game Awards. And it does autosave when you enter, as you can see in the bottom left, so there again, autosaving like I mentioned near the start. Then, as we head closer to the stable, Link talks to the guy in the front, and he's saying that he deals in all horse-related stuff. So maybe you can buy food for your horse, you can buy saddles for your horse, which we'll see later, but he also doubles as an inn, meaning that you'll be able to stay there for night. So maybe if you want it to be daytime but it's nighttime, or it's bad weather, you could just go there and sleep and wake up and it's changed the weather, because some places you wouldn't be able to get to at a certain type of weather, or it'd be at least harder, or like you might want to keep your metal armour on without getting struck by lightning, so you might sleep through a storm. Then next bit, He says that you can build your horse companions with us and then summon them as you please from our network of stables, suggesting, so like if Link boarded his horse with him now and then went to another stable which you could find around the world, he'd be able to take it out, like magically teleporting or some weird thing like that. Don't know whether that's possible or not in the game, but it's suggesting that that could happen. Also note that the guy's called Embry. They've given a name to every character in the game, it appears, because this is just an insignificant little shopkeeper, and we'll see that an even more insignificant storytelling guy has a name as well later on. Then after that, shows your horse's stats. Its strength is 2 stars out of 5, so not very strong. 2 out of 5 for speed and stamina as well, so this is generally just under average horse. And it's got a gentle temperament as well, which would explain why it's not that good. So the stronger ones, as they say in the background of the video, well, the ones with all the better stats will have a worse temperament. But anyway, when you pick it, you get a locally made saddle and bridle for your horse, which costs 20 rupees. The fact that it's locally made suggests it could look different depending on where you go, and there's another factor which does appear to be different depending on which stable you're at, because in this one they all appear to be wearing a certain type of clothing, but in another stable which we see in the polygon footage, they're wearing different sort of clothing, or similar but just like different style. So maybe it varies from which stable you go to what you get. Anyway, after that, you get to name your horse, and they decided it'd be funny to name it Not Epona. Really funny that was. Well, doesn't seem as funny now because I've seen the video so many times when analysing it, but trust me, it's funny at the time. Then, next, he says, but your horse isn't magic. It can't hear you if you're too far away, so do keep that in mind. And literally, the moment the text was on the screen, they pretty much just pressed the skip button. It's as if they were trying to get rid of it so we didn't notice it. This does suggest that only certain horses you'll be able to summon at long range though. Epona obviously being one of them, and another horse which we talk about later on could be in one of these two, but I'll mention that after. Anyway, after that, Link, he placed this apple for his horse, and then after he placed the apple, the horse ignored it, and then the dog at this stable went and ate it, and you can see pink coming out the dog, so obviously you can tame a multitude of animals, not just horses, but horses and dogs, and make them like friendly towards you. But these appear to be only the domestic sort of animals right now, but maybe you can tame a deer if you want. I'm not actually that sure, to be honest, but it would be quite interesting if you could. And then, here you can see the guy standing by there. There's an exclamation mark, and he says long ago. When Beedle was talking, as you rode past him, he didn't say long ago. He didn't have exclamation mark, he just had music notes, suggesting that text with music notes isn't important. Exclamation mark is important, and it's a side quest, which this actually turns out to be later on. So anyway, Link goes and chats to him, and he's asking Link that if he sees the royal family's white horse, could he bring it to him, because he's really interested in it, and it's a side quest. And then, this guy's called Toffer, and he's an really insignificant character, even more insignificant than the shopkeeper maybe, because this is just a village and the shopkeeper actually sells horses, yet he has his own name too. Everyone seems to have names here. Maybe even that dog has a name, although I doubt it, maybe it does. Maybe the owner has a name for it, who knows. But anyway, that's the side quest, and then, when Link walks away after chatting, a message comes up on the top saying, the Royal White Stallion. And just above that, if you look carefully, you can make out the word side quests, and a little speech bubble next to it, suggesting there's a side quests menu with all of the side quests you get given. Now, the same sort of banner appears across the top when you're on the Great Plateau and you're told to find the Sheikah Tower and activate it from Zelda via your Sheikah slate. So obviously that was a side quest too. You can see the saddle on the horse now, looks quite nice. Anyway, after that, Link runs along, and you see was just a stable walker walking along, and he's able to talk to him if he wants, but he doesn't. And right now, in the centre of the minimap, you can see a horse symbol, suggesting the stable, because Link's at the stable. It could also be his horse, but I'll get onto why I don't think so later, or why I might think so, because I'm analysing it on the go. Anyway, next, Link runs past the main stables, and you can see 2 horses in it, and what looks like a pink donkey, considering it's smaller. Could be a mule, but I presume donkey. It's pink. I mean, in my whole life I've never seen a pink donkey, honestly. It looks pretty weird. But oh well. donkeys you get in the game, so that would suggest maybe more storage on them, because donkeys are generally used for storage. So, however, if you were riding a donkey, it'd obviously be really bad at using in combat. You'd just want to use it for travelling long distance and keeping extra inventory, really. And next, he approaches a new shrine, and you can see the horse symbol is further away from him, but the horse is still at the stable, so it could be the horse or the stable. But I still think it's probably the stable. But anyway, the shrine's called ROTA Shrine. Pretty weird name. Don't know what it means, but yeah. Then Link heads into the shrine. You can see him throwing this big sphere with orange around it. And one thing to mention is that in the original Nintendo Switch trailer, where it shows Link fighting what I presumed to be a Hinox, the Hinox has one of those around its neck. And I'm suggesting it could be like some sort of robot, or like similar to those flying things in Skyward Sword, but it appears to just be a simple item used in shrines. Nothing much important, just like decor for that big guy. But maybe Link can take it off him when he's killed it, and there's like some sort of thing he can, like shrine he can use it in nearby or something, where it's being stolen from by the Hinox. Not that sure though. But anyway, after that, it shows Link aiming his bow at a switch on the wall. So we know what switches look like now in the game, and just to prove that it's a switch, after he's shot it, it goes blue and flips round, with the ball inside the tray, thus helping him complete the shrine. And then it makes, when it does that, because it's like activated a secret, the thing here goes up and down. So then, with the thing going up and down, Link will go on it, and then he gets catapulted into the air, and he can go into slow motion if he wishes during this, and with his bow. Whilst he's in slow motion in this little bit here, you can see that there's a chest, except there's no way to get to it, or so you think, because actually there's a little enclosured area off in like right hand corner, just in front of Link, slightly to the right, with a blue circle in it and a ladder heading up. I believe that from there you're somehow able to get to the chest. I don't know how, to be honest, but they didn't go into that area and they didn't get the chest, so I'm presuming that those two areas are related. Then after that, you see them zooming in with their Sheikah slate to look at the chest. Nothing normal really, just a nice little picture of the chest, in case you haven't seen one up close before. And then, after that, you're able to see the guy in the shrine. He has like a big circular fan around his back. Not seen any like that before, so they obviously look different depending on the area that you find them in, as in the Sheikah monks, which they give you a spirit orbs. Then after that, Link is walking out of the shrine, which is now registered on his map, and you can see it's a blue thing. And then you can see the cliffside just opposite him, with that tower behind it again, which I really want to go to. I don't know why, I just do. But anyway, you can see a shiny black liquidy thing on that cliff face. And you could also see that in the Switch reveal trailer, in like a watery bit, and that was like on it in the right, just like where Link was using Cryonis to jump along towards the big skeleton. Still don't know what it is. I still think it's under Calamity Ganon's influence, but not really that sure. Then after that, Link heads back towards the stable, and you see some guy, and he says a watchman watches, suggesting that that's either a hint towards something in the game, where maybe something is watching over something and you have to watch out for it, or maybe he's just a watchman watching out for any enemies approaching the stable, like on a lookout. I'm not really that sure, but it's nothing important because there aren't any exclamation marks or anything around it. Then, after that, Link rides away on his horse, and he goes down to fight some bokoblins pretty far away. Now here on this screenshot I've got, it shows him fighting bokoblins. There are some things to note. First, the bokoblin is brown, well, super dark brown, almost black, and it's got like white stripes going across it, sort of like a pattern. But we've not seen bokoblins like that before, so you obviously get tons of different colours of them. And he's got things on his arms, similar to on the blue shirt which Link wears. And then after that, the bridge which he goes to, and right near the camp, is called Gleeok Bridge. That's a major reference to the original Legend of Zelda and a few others. where there's an enemy big dragon with a couple of heads called Gleeok in it. It's a boss. But if you've played Legend of Zelda and you're a big fan, then obviously you'll know that. If not, there's a big fact for you about where the name came from. But then again, here's one thing that you could note from this. Maybe it's not just a reference, maybe at some point in the game, if you play it properly, there will be a Gleeok which you can fight at the bridge. Or maybe in the past a Gleeok was fought at the bridge. But I don't really know about that. But yeah. Then, after that, after riding away from the camp and coming back, there was only one bokoblin at this camp when originally there were 3. Yes, you didn't see it in the screenshots, but in the video there were 3, and if you go and watch it you'll notice this strange phenomenon as well. And 2 of them have disappeared pretty much. That dark browny one with the stripes in it is gone, and a blue one which was here is gone as well. It's just a normal brown one there now. And I find that pretty weird that they just disappeared for no reason. But one thing to note actually now, on the minimap you can see that a horse symbol. So, however, on the horse symbol which you saw before, it appeared to have a square on its back. So I think the square is a building and the horse symbol is the horse. And they were just right next to each other and it was confusing me. But anyway, now we know. The horse symbol, you can see your horse on the map with a horse head, and you can see a stable as a square. Or maybe a square with a horse head on it. I'm not actually much sure now. It's confusing me, but basically there's logos for stuff once you've found them, or once you know what they are on your map, which we already knew, but nice to know there's one for your horse and one for a stable. Anyway, after that, Link heads back towards his horse, and you can see there is a raft on the water, so you can obviously just find these rafts randomly around the world. But note, you can't get it past this bridge, because, well, the bridge is there blocking it, so you'd have to go upriver towards the Great Plateau on that raft. There's not that much over that direction, I don't think. There might be, but yeah. That raft basically would head towards the Great Plateau if you chose to use it. But you'd need a Deku leaf for that. Or was it Korok leaf? I'm not that sure what they're called now. In the Wind Waker it's Deku leaf, but I don't know if it's Korok leaf in this game. Anyway, after that, an Octorox starts shooting at Link when he's on the bridge. Here, in this photo, you can see Link going onto his horse, and look at how big that boulder gets when it explodes. It isn't originally that big, that's how big it gets when it explodes. So Octorox will be a force to match in this game. And here, as Link's riding on his horse, if you look carefully up the river you can see something blue. That is the Octorox. Now I will try and get I might try and get a snipped up image of it zoomed in up over the screen right now, but I might not be able to if it's too blurred, so if you don't see one, it'll be because it's too blurred to actually see the Octorox. If you do, it's because I've managed to get an image of the Octorox on the screen. Either way, you get Octorox in this game, and they're not the sort which you get in the original one. No, they're the sort which you get in the water which shoot rocks at you. Then after that, Link's riding through the field, and you can see some ruins in front of him of a town, and just to the right of those ruins in the distance you can see what looks like a wooden building, and house of sorts. However, as they progress on they head away from that and through the ruins instead, and you don't get to see what it is. Not very good for analysis, but oh well, at least we spotted it. Then, as he heads into the ruins you see speech bubbles. I'll take you on, and come on. Saying it was 2 people talking. And as you head further in, you see that it is 2 people getting waylaid by a party of 2 blue bokoblins on their journey across the road. And you can go in and help them if you choose to, which he does too, except he doesn't help them to a full extent. He just kills one of them and damages the other and then rides away. But anyway, if we carry on analysing it, as he rides past, you see behind some rocks there's a shrine hidden there. Just near the ruins where the people are fighting. You can see where they're fighting by the health part of one of the bokoblins. Then, after that, you see he rides right into a bokoblin. You can see it there, the impact. And then after that, you can see the bokoblin which just got rode into, a blue one, which was previously on full health, coming towards him. Look how much damage was done from a horse riding into it. And you can deal even more damage if you ride into it properly as well. So, that is quite a lot of damage done, and then he goes and kills it with 1 hit. After that though, after killing one bokoblin and damaging the other, he just rides away and stands there and kills a boar. And then he rides towards this guardian, and it turns from blue to a glowing purple, meaning it's activated, and it goes after him for a kill. So you see him fighting it, and then he jumps up into the air, backflipping off his horse, which we and you can see his stamina bar is slowly going down. So we know backflipping off your horse takes stamina away, meaning that if you are going to bow a guardian up whilst backflipping off your horse, you want to make sure it's one of those electric arrows, otherwise you won't be able to kill it. So, well, not electric arrows, one of those blue Sheikah like arrows which we saw in the original trailer with Link running away from a guardian through a forest up to that bridge. Because then after that we see Link's on the floor, all his stamina gone, and his stamina just disappeared after he landed as well, so it presumably takes up all your stamina to do that backflip, no matter how much you have. And then the guardian has its laser beam focused on him, and it kills him. So that's definitely one reason why you wouldn't want to backflip off your horse and shoot a guardian unless you actually had arrows which were strong enough to kill it in one hit. Then after that it shows the game over screen, and he does go and try to kill it again, but it's just as unsuccessful and with nothing new there. But either way, the game over screen was a continue button or a quit button. The continue continues from the last save, presumably when you saved last or when was the last autosave. For him, it will be my last autosave because he hasn't saved and we haven't seen the save menu yet. Okay, that's it for the... Sorry, I've got a bit of a sore throat for the Treehouse playthrough, and I'm going to be doing the Polygon one as well in a part 2 to this, because can't do it right now because I need to get all my stuff set up with it, but yeah. Right, watch the next part and subscribe if you want more of this sort of thing. I also do theories as well as analysis, well, all sorts of stuff related to Legend of Zelda, so